When managing change, which should we focus on first? Changing attitudes so that the behaviors change later, or changing behaviors so that the attitudes change later?
As a psychologist, I'd have to say both. So rather than just one or the other. Historically, it was thought that if you change people's attitudes first, then subsequently their behaviours would follow their attitudes, so they'd be aligned with them. But there's also a huge amount of evidence that suggests that behaviours also determine attitudes, and in some cases are an even more potent determinant of attitudes than attitudes are of behaviour. So, for instance, there was some research done 30 or so years ago by Chris Clegg, who founded the Socio-Technical Centre here in Leeds, where he looked at the relationship between attitudes and behaviours regarding workplace absenteeism and turnover. And one of the things that Chris's research found was that initially it was thought that satisfaction, or rather lack of satisfaction, would lead to increased absenteeism. So if people were dissatisfied with their jobs, they'd be more likely to be absent from their jobs. And there was certainly a lot of research to support that, and Chris found a little bit to support that in his own research. However, what Chris found was that the reverse relationship, so absenteeism was actually a more powerful predictor of dissatisfaction than dissatisfaction was of absenteeism. So it was actually the behaviour that was driving the attitudes. These things are not a linear relationship though, so there's very much a sort of loopy system, if you like. So attitudes reinforce behaviour, and behaviour in turn reinforces attitudes. So ideally you should focus on both if you're engaging in behavioural change within an organisation.